Hello everyone, welcome to the course on Artificial Intelligence in Industrial and Management Engineering. Till now in the course, we have completed machine learning basics and neural network architecture. We have also discussed the implementation of regression techniques by utilizing simple linear regression and the implementation of multi-layer perceptron model using the scikit-learn library. Today we will start with a new topic with the title natural language processing. So, in the arena of artificial intelligence, we are trying to give intelligence to machines. Now, the major communication between humans is through natural languages, right? But we communicate with machines by utilizing programming languages. So, how do we make the machines understand the natural languages of humans so that we can utilize this new technology and can make machines more intelligible, right? So, today we will start with the foundations of natural language processing. We will first introduce what is natural language processing, and then we will try to discuss what are the applied areas of NLP. After that, we will again go back to the basics of what is a language, and we will try to understand how the foundational blocks of language should be first understood so that we can develop our natural language processing models, right. Then we will discuss few tools in the natural language processing arena in the Python ecosystem. After that, we will see what are the major tasks in natural language processing. We will also provide a brief overview of conversational agents. These are nothing but your devices like Alexa, Siri, and Google Home, right. Then finally, we will cover this complete this topic by introducing you to the application of NLPs in text classification. So, this is highly relevant applied area of natural language processing, and in this we will also summarize what are the different classification matrices that we use, because we have only discussed the matrices utilized for linear regression, right. So, this will be the first time where we will be looking at classification matrices in the course. Okay. So, let us start with the introduction of natural language processing. So, NLP has been the primary domain where medium of communication such as natural language is being studied. Natural languages are the preferred communication medium in human interactions. Now, the question is, how do we make machines understand the natural language, right. Why we are putting this question? Because machines only understand zeros and ones, right. But now we are trying to make them understand a complete sentence. So, let us say Kanpur is in UP, India. So, this is a sentence. Let us say we are trying our machines to make meaningful understanding of these kind of complete sentences, but they only understand zeros and ones. So, how can we convert these kind of sentences into machine languages so that we can extract insights out of these sentences. So, let us say if you have a complete book and you want to understand the concepts or the context that has been provided in those books, then you can utilize these kind of technologies which can be very fruitful for you. So, NLP is the area of computer science which deals in modeling and understanding of human language. So, now let us look at the applications. Of NLP tech. So, a classic example of the applied areas of NLP is email classification. Like you want to identify whether the email you are receiving is either a spam or let us say ham or a correct email that should be in your inbox, right. So, this should be usually in the current scenario we have automatic identification of spam emails. So, all those implementations are done by utilizing the natural language processing technologies, right. Other application is like extraction of calendar events from text. So, let us say you are receiving some emails and there are different calendar events that are written in those unstructured text, right. So, what your natural language processing algorithms can do is they can find the context and directly provide you with the details of the calendar event that has been given to you in that email, right. So, this is also an automated application of NLP. Other applied area could be web search engines. So, when we utilize web searches like Google, Bing, all of these internet search engines, they work on natural language, right. You write your own query in your own language, you do not use programming language in those Google search or Bing search. So, these the natural language query that you have written gets translated to machine understandable things and then the search happens, right. So, what we can do here is we can utilize NLP for information retrieval or we can rank the websites or the web search results, right, or we can group the results automatically. Another area is translation services. So, we are still developing the state of the art algorithms in translation services like Google Translate, and even all the big companies provide some kind of translation services right now to their customers. So these translation services also work on the foundational knowledge of natural language processing, where machine automatically translates from one language to another language. So here we can, this is a direct implementation of getting accurate machine based translation. Further, one more is your notification summary these days. So in your handheld devices or your systems, your different computing devices, there are different kinds of notifications that keep on coming on daily basis, and it gets accumulated. So these days some service providers are providing different kinds of machine learning models that can automatically summarize those notifications for you, so that you can easily understand what is the context or what is the content of those notifications, right. So this is also an applied area of natural language processing. Now let us jot down few points why this natural language processing is important for this industry. So importance of NLP: text and speech. These are the dominant form of human communication. Right, and vast amount of unstructured data is available in natural language. So these are the two major things that makes natural language processing highly important field in the applied areas of computer science. So now let us look about the language modeling tasks. So what are the different kinds of tasks that are involved in it? So we can predict the next word in a sentence. So if you are an avid user of Google search, then you can connect with this. Like, let's say you are writing a search query in your Google search web page, and after few words the Google search start showing you the next word, the next probable word that can be written or that can be used by you for this Google search, right. So this is what we are trying to discuss here, is that we can predict the next word in a sentence by utilizing the algorithms of natural language processing. Okay. Here the goal is to learn the probability of a sequence of words that are appearing in a given language. This is also useful in speech recognition or handwriting recognition. So, how an example of this handwriting recognition is like, let's say you have a tablet handheld device where you can write with your own stylus, and these days some applications from the app store provide you the capability of increasing the quality of your handwriting. So, what they are doing in the back end is they let you first write whatever the character you are writing, then they will identify the character that you have written by the utilization of different algorithms, and then they will provide a better character written on the same place where you have written with your handwriting, right. So, this is the overall process of handwriting recognition, and then let you get better at your handwriting. And the final is machine translation. So, other task is the text classification. Now, what we can do here is we can classify a large corpus of natural language data into various categories. So, we can understand this with an example, like let's say you are running your own startup and you are trying to get the feedbacks from your customers, right. Now, let's say you have 5,000 or 10,000 feedbacks that you have received for your service. So, how can you directly summarize automatically these large amount of feedbacks into actionable insights for your startup to grow much bigger, right. So, to do this you can classify those feedbacks into different categories like positive, negative, ambiguous. These kind of feedback classification will help you to understand where you are lagging, what are your pain points, what are your strong points, right. So, this is how industrial or management peoples try to utilize these kinds of technologies in their own domains. Now, let us talk about the basics of a language, because when we understand what is a language, what are the foundational building blocks of a language, then only we can utilize this information to convert this natural language into the language of machines, that is zeros and ones, right. So, language is a structured communication. And it involves a complex combination of characters, words or sentences, right. Now, linguistic is the systematic study of languages. Okay. Now, there are foundational blocks of human languages, and these are divided into human languages are made up of following: phonemes, morphemes, syntax and context, right. So, let us start with the phonemes. Phoneme is nothing but the smallest unit of sound in a language. So whenever you speak something like a or the, so there is a sound associated with all these words, right? So this smallest unit of sound in a language is termed as phoneme. It is under the systematic study of languages, that is linguistic, right? So these phonemes are important. So important in speech recognition or speech to text translation. So a knowledge of different kind of phonemes and their sound structure will help you understand and model these sounds into your machine, so that machines can easily understand what kind of sound is being used by the user, so that we can utilize it for speech to text translation services, right? Now this was the first building block. The second is morphemes, and lexemes is another associated building block. So this is foundational for understanding different concepts like tokenization, stemming, or part of speech tagging. So these tokenization, stemming, and part of speech, or popularly known as pause tagging, these are all different kinds of NLP tasks that we perform on our corpus of data, right? So we will look into it, how, what are these individually, and how we can implement in Python ecosystem. Okay. So this is a combination of morphemes and lexemes, is a combination of phonemes, right? And it is the smallest unit of language that has meaning. So the study of linguistic defined that these morphemes and lexemes is the smallest unit of language that gives some meaning to the listener or the speaker, right? Now one interesting thing is that not all morphemes are words. So we will see when we are writing our code that in a sentence, in a particular sentence, what are the different kinds of morphemes in our data set, and whether all of those are words or not. So let's say there is a word unreliability. So if we break this word, we can write un plus rely plus able plus et. So you can see here that these two are actual words which are morphemes as well, but other than these two, these are not actual words in itself, but still they are morphemes and they are the smallest unit of language. Okay. Now what are lexemes? Lexemes are structural variations of morphemes. Okay. So as an example, let's say run and running have the same lexeme run. Okay. So, let us stop here today, and we will try to continue with this foundational blocks in our next lecture. Thank you.